Hey babes, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. This week we are getting into episode 2 of the Women of the Bible. Okay, so today, of course, we are getting into Sarai. Okay, aka Sarah. Okay, so let's jump right into this Wednesday's word. Okay. Hey babes, make sure you like, comment, and to subscribe to my channel so that you guys do not miss out on what God is doing through this channel. Okay, so first, excuse the way that I look. Okay, I just got off work, but this video is getting made, honey. I am not going to allow anything to hinder me making this video, okay? And excuse my glasses, okay? I was too cheap to pay the money to get the glare out of my glasses, so we're here. Okay, so today we are talking about Sarai in our series of the women of the Bible, okay? So we can find Sarai in Genesis chapters 12 through 23, okay? Now, what do we know about her, right? She is the wife of Abraham. When we meet her, she is 65 years old, okay? And even at an old age of 65 or a young age, I don't know, because they was dying real old, like old in the Bible. But anyways, she is 65 years old. And even at 65, she is absolutely beautiful, right? The Bible tells us that, right? She's gorgeous, okay? And she's never bore a child, okay? And Sarai's greatest desire was to have a child, right? But because of her age, she thought that it was impossible, okay? But who knows that we serve a God of the impossible, okay? He does impossible things, okay? So God made a promise with her husband Abraham that he would make a great nation out of him, right? We see this in Genesis chapter 17, verse 6, and it reads, I will make you very fruitful, and I will make nations out of you, and kings will come from you. Now we skip down to verse 15, we see God also says to Abraham, as for Sarai, your wife, you will no longer call her Sarai. Her name will be Sarah. I will bless her and will surely give you a son by her. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of people will come from her. Now, Sarah again is 65 years old. So when Sarah hears this, well, actually, I don't know if Sarah heard this part because it's not the part where she laughed. But if I was Sarah, I'll be thinking like, how can my husband be the father of nations when I don't even have a child, right? So it didn't make sense, right? But who do we serve? Who do we serve? We serve the God of the impossible, okay? So when Sarah does overhear that she's going to have a son, she's like, she laughs. She's like, this is crazy. This is insane. I'm old. My husband is old. How was this going to happen, right? Has there ever been a time in your life where it was hard for you to trust God? What area in your life are you lacking faith in? What area are you struggling with to put all of your faith, all of your trust in Christ? There's an area in my life that I'm struggling with right now as we speak of, putting all of my faith in God, putting everything in there. And it's not even in all of my every area of my life. It's this one area that I have struggled with for a very long time of just giving God complete control over and allowing him to move and do what he's going to do. And it's not easy to just be like, here you go, because we're human, right? And we tend to pick up things. We tend to do things on our own. We tend to try to figure it out, right? Just like Sarah did. She tried to figure it out. She tried to give Abraham a son, and she put herself in a position that she didn't want to be in, right? She messed herself up, okay? But one thing we have to remember is that God will do what he has promised, okay? And that's a lesson that Sarah had to learn. God is going to do what he said he's going to do, okay? We have to hold on to the things. We have to hold on to that and allow God to work in his timing. God will work it all out in his timing, okay? All out in his timing. And if we are struggling in faith, and trusting him and whatever. All we have to do is ask him to help us, and he will. Like, Lord, I'm struggling in this area. He's not gonna look at you like you crazy. Like, you supposed to do this on your own. No, he's gonna take you by the hand, and he is going to help you. He's going to show you how. He's going to give you scripture. He's going to, he's going to help you in that area where you need development in. Okay. Although it was hard for Sarah to not have a child and to, go so long without one, she did trust in God. She had faith that God was going to come through on his promise. Of course, she was human though. She was frustrated. She was irritated. She wanted what she wanted. She wanted a baby, And as time went on, she just was like, okay, well, Lord, what's about to happen? But when God made his promise, she may have doubted it for a minute, but she never gave up hope. She never gave up faith in God, that he was going to fulfill his promise or not. She knew he would. She just had to wrap her mind around it like we do sometimes. Sometimes when God speaks to us or whatever, it's not like, oh, okay, bad. I can't wait. It's like, okay, Lord, when? When are you going to come through? When is this going to happen for me? And then we find ourselves and it's like, okay, I'm just resting in his word. I'm just resting in everything that you said to me. And I know that it's going to come to pass. And sure enough, those things come to pass in his timing. Okay, so never doubt that, Sarah didn't trust God. She was a faithful woman to God. She trusted him. And, yeah, she trusted and she held out on hope. So a lot of the time, well, most of the time, we don't understand what God is doing, right? It's hard to wrap our minds around the things of God sometimes. Like, why is he doing this? Right? I know I get frustrated sometimes, like, Lord, I'm gonna need you to come through right now. Okay? So why would God make Sarah wait until she was 90 years old to have a child? Lord, you had the power to bless her with a child when she was 30, when she was, younger. You had the power, so why make her wait? These are questions that come to my mind when I read the story. Like, Lord, why? Why would you do that? And it's like, first of all, why are we questioning God? Okay? There's always a reason as to why God does what he does. Okay? Did we ever think that Sarah needed patience? I think Sarah needed some patience. Okay? Y'all see what Sarah did with Hagar. I can't get all into that because that's next week's story. But yeah, patience is a virtue. Okay. Did we ever think that God was preparing Sarah to be a mother? Maybe there were some areas that Sarah lacked in. Maybe there were some things that Sarah had to overcome. Some things she had to learn. Some places in her life where she needed to heal. How do we know? We don't know. We don't know. Okay? Maybe God was building her faith and her trust in him. Okay? That could have been an area where Sarah was lacking, right? Because as she had full, complete trust and faith in God, she wouldn't have went out there and had Hagar do what she did, right? Okay? Sarah, now, by no means was Sarah, just out here doing whatever. No, she was faithful. She was faithful. She was faithful to God, but she was flawed. Okay? How many of us are faithful to God? We love Christ and we try to live our lives according to the way that he wants us to the way of the Bible and everything, but we fall short in some other areas in our lives. Nobody's perfect. We all have issues. We all have things that we're dealing with. We all have things that we're trying to overcome. We all have, hard times. We all have things that we struggle with. So, yeah, Sarah was a faithful woman. She is one of the ones listed in Hebrews as being faithful. She loved Christ. She desired to have a child, and she thought that maybe taking matters into her own hands would help. But God came through with his promise. He said that she was going to have a son, and Sarah had a son, Isaac. We all know Isaac, right? um, but the lesson that we can learn from Sarah is that God uses imperfect people, but he needs our obedience, right? God is faithful. We see that in the life of Sarah. God is faithful, right? Nothing is impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with God. Okay? Now, that's not to say that, oh, I want to do this, so nothing is impossible with God. Well, when it's according to his will and his purpose for your life. Okay? We ain't out here just doing everything because, you know, some things ain't right for us. Okay? So we have to lean on him. We have to trust in him. We have to know that he will reveal to us the desires of our heart. Okay? Um, things happen in God's timing and in his way. Okay? I'm sure Sarah wanted that baby years and years before she had him. But it was not time yet. Everything is going to happen the way that God plans it. And there's no if, ands, or buts about it. There's no way around it. That's it. That's it. We see through Sarah's life that she messed up, but she put her faith and her trust in God. Okay, she may have laughed at first, like, yeah, right. But in the end, she put her faith and her trust in God, and God's promise came to pass. Okay, so in times where we are having trouble trusting God, we need to rely on him even more. We need to lean on him even more. We need to pray and read our word and just allow him to reveal himself to us, you know? I don't know if that's really what I want to say, but yeah, just yeah, work on your relationship with him, lean on him, and he will come through. He's gonna come through in his timing and in his way. There is no, God gonna come through in his way. Okay. So yes, we see that God came through for Sarah, and yeah, she was a faithful woman of God. I absolutely love the story of Abraham and Sarah. It's one of my favorite books in the Bible. Okay, Genesis is a bomb. Okay, so if you ain't read Genesis, read it from front to back. Okay, because honey, it's a maze. Okay. But yeah, so that is all I have today. I pray that you guys have a blessed rest of your week, and I will see y'all next week. Bye, babes.